Hello learners, we are now talking on the lecture 2 of the module 4 of Life Skills for Graduate. This lecture deals with the digital literacy skills which are required in the learners of 21st century. Because this world is continuously evolving, the exponential growth has posed threats on the digital platforms. These threats require an individual to be literate and proactive towards digital platforms and their users. Therefore, in this lecture, we will be again talking of what is the digital literacy, its need, how we can have access to digital literacy, and again creation of digital material, how it can be used in communication, and finally in today's world what we require in digital safety, because that is very important. As I have already said, the digital platform today is very active and therefore you have to be safe in this platform while using it. As discussed in the first lecture of this module, CBSE 2020 identified IMT as essential component of 21st century skills. That meant information literacy, media literacy, and technological literacy. We will specifically deal with technological literacy, often used interchangeably with digital literacy. So, we can define digital literacy as the following definitions. Digital literacy involves the confident and critical use of full range of digital technologies for information, communication, and basic problem solving in all aspects of life. It is underpinned by basic skills in ICT, that is, the use of computers to retrieve, access, store, produce, present, and exchange information, and to communicate and participate in a collaborative network via the internet. This is what the UNESCO says about digital literacy. Commonwealth of Learning has said digital literacy is the ability to use ICT tools required to participate in the workplace, learning institutions, and everyday life. These include the abilities to find, understand, evaluate, create, and communicate digital information. According to International Telecom Union, digital literacy consists of equipping people with ICT concepts, methods, and skills to enable them to use and exploit ICTs. The related concepts of information literacy consist of providing people with concepts and training in order to process data and transform them into information, knowledge, and decisions. It includes methods to search and evaluate information, elements of information, culture, and its ethical aspects, as well as methodologies and ethical aspects of communication in digital world. Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India says digital literacy is the ability of individuals and communities to understand and use digital technologies for meaningful actions and life situations. To summarize this, we can say that digital literacy is the competency required to adapt to the digital world, ability to comprehend technological challenges, critically think, analyze, and evaluate the information perceived through digital platforms, communicate and develop or perceive information through digital platform along with sensitivity towards digital security. So that is what we can say. It is how we can use this information which is digitally available, and you can think that judicious use of this information will definitely adapt us better to the 21st century skills. Now, if we can try to understand this definition with the help of an example, for take a case of a person, suppose we can say Raman. He uses smartphones and is present in all the social media platforms. He forwards every message received from the social media to others without even cross-checking it. And what happens? The credibility of his information is not there. He clicks on every random link or message he receives. Now, what is he doing? What is he doing? He is making himself susceptible in that digital world. Another case is of a person, suppose we can say Ankita or Ankit, whatever it can be, has a smartphone but is very sensitive in accessing any digital service, even social media platform. She does not click any unidentified link or does not access any unidentified group or material which is there. So what is it? Who is digital literate, we can say? The answer is Raman is lacking the critical skills which are required for digital literacy, while Ankita is lacking the basic digital skills of accessing, developing, communicating digital resources judiciously. So both of them have to have orientation towards digital literacy so that they can use it judiciously. Why do we need digital literacy in today's world? Let us see. First of all, to access the vast digital reservoir, as we have again and again mentioned today, lot of information is available on a click of a button. So this information will go waste if we do not use it. The knowledge source have shifted from traditional print media to digital media today. To acquire these resources, we require an individual to be competent enough in skillfully accessing the material digitally. They should know how to use the devices. They know which platform, which information can be available where, that should be there, and therefore that access should be there to the digital reservoir. Information use and also knowing how to access, that is important. Secondly, we have to have online safety. Now, digital platforms provide a tons of opportunities but come with a challenge for cyber security. As we were saying, the case of Ankita, she was just cautious because probably somebody must have told her that you should not click on any unknown link which has been provided to you, you should not join any unknown. So she was very cautious and therefore she was not accessing also the information which was there. So we have to have knowledge of cyber security which is there, and the individual needs to be aware that what sort of concerns can be there on online platforms. They have to know that. Again and again, there are various messages, there are various information which always keep on telling you don't click on unknown site or don't give your information on digital platform unless you have verified it. So that has to be there. We require digital literacy in today's work to have networking with people both in personal and professional front. That is required because what happens today, as we were saying, that COVID has done one thing, that people have, although they are separated with distance, but they try to connect digitally. So that is very important, that if we have to connect with our mentors, with our colleagues, with the leaders, they can connect it digitally, and this can lead to the distance, this can remove the distance which was there earlier. So people can be connect in click of a button, they can connect with anyone who is there across the world. So that is something very important both at professional front and at personal front. And at professional level, what happens if you are able to connect to people frequently and you are able to establish a good rapport with them, then that professional collaboration increases. So people maintain, they can have digital portfolios, they can have profiles, and they can express or show their own abilities, their own credentials on the digital media which can be accessed by anyone anywhere. So similar sort of people can develop professional links with each other, and they can move forward in today's world. Adaptability is very important. Individual have to adapt to the rapid changing digital platforms today. Digital literacy, those who have digital literacy are able to adapt, retain productivity and exhibit flexibility, which the people admire. We know various famous personalities who have put themselves, irrespective of age, put themselves on digital platform, and they are sharing their views, they are sharing their insights, they're sharing their experiences with the world across. And that has also given others access to them, which was earlier not there. Earlier we used to have icons, we used to have famous personalities whose lifestyles, whose views everyone did not know. Today they are there, so it can be used by others also to follow their examples, to follow their ways of thinking. So that adaptation is very important. Very important is that, as we say, citizenship is something which is required for an individual to follow norms and principles and rules of his own country, nation. Today we have a global world. So digital citizenship emphasizes the value of instructing peoples how to utilize technology responsibly. It says that we can use this technology. Today, if we are citizen of the digital world, then we can use the information which is there on the digital platform more for the sustainable development of individual. We can know how the information can influence people, how it can influence society, and in that long run, how it can adapt us to the changing scenario of the world. So that is very important. Therefore, the concept of digital citizenship is required for sustainability in the times to come. Because again and again we say sustainable or sustainable development or awareness of sustainable initiatives is very important for this whole world, because if we have to see, we have to have a sustainable use of resources, sustainable use of climate, sustainable use of our surroundings, if we have to live in today's world. So digital citizenship will help us to live in this smaller world today, which is a global world today, in the smaller world, and help our future generation with a better sort of environment, better sort of use of resources, and better information in times to come. How digital literacy can be expressed in terms of component, this we have to see. Different people have given different components of digital literacy. Blue, Haig, Adobe, they have discussed different components of digital literacy, and these can be summarized as follows. First is access, second is creation, third is transaction and communication, and fourth is digital safety. Now, if we say one by one, if we take them, if we say access, access is the information. Again, we said today, the information is available on a click of a button. Accessing digital resources requires some important skills like ability to find and select information, critically think and evaluate the information there. So how does this ability to find and select information come under access? First, we have to see this. In order to access the digital resources, an individual must be capable of finding the same digitally involving key questions like where to find, how to find, and what to find. And selection of information involves questions what to find and why to select that information. So the information, since we can say the information can be diverse, not every information can be trusted, not every information which comes into access may be useful to us, that has to come into our overview while we are accessing the information. The information which we get, whatever information which we get, it can be from different resources. The information, since it is diverse in nature, then every information which we get can be from different resources, like the primary sources, the secondary sources, and the tertiary sources. What can be the primary sources of digital information? That first person reports of research or events which we put directly. The examples can be ebooks, electronic thesis, dissertations, journals, interview, podcasts, government document, etc., which have been put directly as a primary source. Then there can be secondary sources also, where that primary information has been analyzed or has been assessed or has been reviewed, and then it has been put on there. So that can be secondary sources. Those primary information can be a report which can be analyzed by somebody else, and the magazine has put that report, the analysis of that report in itself. So that can be there. It can be e-magazine, it can be e-newspaper, it can be bibliography. Then there can be the tertiary sources, like general overviews of various subjects provided on the background of a concept. That can be in abstracts, it can be in dictionaries, it can be in encyclopedias, it can be in textbooks of reference. That can be there. So secondary, tertiary sources are where the primary and the secondary information has been clubbed or has been summarized together and put in a group or put for easy access, that is to there. So tertiary resources frequently offer information in easy access format and offer background information on the subject for point of reference. The example of such can be again abstracts, dictionary, encyclopedias, textbooks, and so primary, secondary, and tertiary sources have to be accessed by the individual. In this world of misinformation and fugitive information, it becomes essential for us not to believe in any floating information, but to see the credibility of the resources which are there. That has to be there. Just for instance, we can say that this information which has been given to us, we should see the primary source, the secondary source, or the tertiary source, how authentic it is. Like if we have certain government sources, we should check whether the government site are actual the sites which are there. Many times we have sites which copy the link, but those are not actual slides, those are clone slides. So we should know that. Then research repositories, also we should see whether these research repositories are actual or not. So, and then there can be some miscellaneous sources also. We can club these. Some examples of these sources can be like government sources. We can have the ministry sites, we can have recognized books, we can have proceedings of seminars or conferences, we can have the established journals, like we have care listed journals, we have the Scopus Index journals. We can see then, and then again we have to check whether we have actually using the actual journal or not. That also may be there, because again, as I said, the cloned sites, cloned publications are also there. Research repositories, we have the Shodh Gangas, we have the institutional repositories, and of course we have the government repositories which can be there. It can be NCRTs, it can be UGC journals, or any other government body journals can be there. And then we have the miscellaneous e-newspapers and e-magazines. Certain established newspapers and magazines, they put their e-content, or they are now in e-form, they can be available there. Now, the first thing is, if we have to access the information provided by others, then we also should know how we can create information. So, it is important that we learn to create digital information properly so that others can have access to it. The potential to express oneself digitally is one pillar of information is there. This enables individual to interact effectively on forums and social media platforms for both personal and professional objectives, using various types of media, from knowing the fundamentals of email etiquettes to comprehending how to receive emails, how to view text, or how to respond to them on various devices and platforms. That is very important. So we should know how to use the various digital tools. We should know what are the various digital platforms available. It starts with basic writing of emails, messages, and goes up to using sophisticated softwares and programming languages for developing different application or other forms of media. So first of all, we should know the basics which are there, and it can simply begin with simple writing, that is of an email or any text or anything. Then we have to see how we can use this simple email or information or text that we have created on clouds, on other easily available platforms, on the social media aspect, how we can create the videos, how we can create the text, how we can create the audios. That has to be there. So animations and etc. are a bit more complicated. So first, simple writing emails will be there, and then gradually you should upskill yourself on providing information on the digital platform. It will require also certain innovative aspects. You have to be critically thinking, creative, certain innovation. You can mix and match the digital resources which are there. You can mix and match the digital tools which are there. So that is very important. But it is important that while you are creating information, you should be responsible and accountable for it, because you cannot just create any information and put it on the digital platform for access to others without proper research done into this. And therefore, if you see the digital videos, the digital audios, the podcasts which are there, people who put their views or put them in the social media or put that information there have to be accountable. They do proper research, and therefore certain sites, certain people are more credible than others. You do not doubt the information given by them. So that is important. Therefore, certain basic things we have to keep in mind, that for basic conversations we can use emails, messaging, texting, which require only certain fundamental skills. You just have to know how to type, how to use it. While you, for other things, you have to see how you have to use other platforms, other tools. There are snipping tools, there are add-on tools which are there. So for basic conversations, we can use messages, we can use text, we can use social media options which are there in text, and Facebook Messenger we can use WhatsApp, and all this, writing emails, texting on WhatsApp, texting on Face. It is very user friendly, because what happens, due to AI, the text or the thing, they automatic, you get suggestions what you have to write. And the languages are also there. So that is very convenient for anyone. If you are simply, if you know how to use your device properly, you can do these things properly. You can create your message which you have to send to someone, can create this one. Then there are also some other ways of creating information digitally. We have a lot of, as I said, we have various sort of application, we have various sort of tools which are there, we have various softwares which are there, which can help us to create the information properly. For presentations, we have PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, we have Google Slides. For writing a Word document, we have Microsoft Word, we have Google Docs, which can be edited also. The Google Slides and Google Docs can be edited. They had the option of editing, so many people can work together even if they are at a distance. Then for processing data, we have Microsoft Excels, we have Google Sheets, and there are many other. Today we have many animation softwares. We have many picture softwares which are there which can be used. So there are so many sorts of AI tools. Now what has happened, we have artificial intelligence has also given, it gives us suggestions also there. We are talking of chat GPT, etc., that it can automatically type your assignment. So creation of information on digital platform has become quite easy in today's time, but then you should check the authenticity, because you are responsible and accountable for the information you are doing. For web, like we were saying, for social media, we can have Facebook, we can have Twitter, people have LinkedIn profile, Pinterest, Google can be there, you can have blogs. So that is there where you can reach out to people. Your information, anything what you want to share, can be accessed by large number of people. Therefore, you must see what you are putting on the social media or on the digital platforms. That is very important. Again and again, I am emphasizing, these platforms are money. People, whatever information you put has access to many. So you should be very careful what you are putting on that information. For research, you can have again publishers like Taylor and Francis, Springer, Sage, etc. All those have their information available digitally, and you can also put your information, your creation, your paper through them on the social media. So this is how we can have. Now for as I was again and again referring today, the artificial intelligence has made it easy for us to create digital information, because we have generative AI like ChatGPT, Meta AI. Simply your WhatsApp, you see, it has Meta AI, it can give you information about anything. For paraphrasing, you have Quillboard, Grammarly. You just have to type that information and they will know how you have to put it in a systematic manner. For presentation, you just have to search, and we have Gamma, we have Magic Slides, we have SlideGos, which put automatically your PowerPoint presentation in a format which you can directly use. Although, again, as I said, these are AI generative tools, artificial intelligence generative devices. So here, your judicious thinking, you should go through them, because they may be putting information which is available to you. So your creativity, your innovation will come, how you modify them properly as per your requirement. That has to be there. For videos, we have Canva, we have InVideo. Again, as I said, they have lot of digital tools which are there, which help us to produce information very quickly. You just have to use the topic, and that artificial intelligent powered system will give you the product as you need. Communication of information digitally, again, then now we have to see what is important. First of all, we said creation. Now, the second aspect is whatever we have created, how it has to be communicated. That is important. A key element of acquiring digital literacy is the ability to communicate information digitally. You may be having information, you have now have access to various platforms, various tools which you know. Now this information has to be created effectively. As I said, we have the slides, we have the ChatGPTs, we have the videos which are all there, which are powered by artificial intelligence. But if you have to communicate it effectively, there your creativity and innovations come. So digital literacy becomes crucial for navigating, comprehending and efficiently using digital channels such as social media, websites and applications. As information is disseminated and consumed more frequently through these means. Again, you should know whatever is put on digital world is there. It is for access. It is very difficult to undo it. So there is where you should be very careful, accountable and responsible for this, and therefore digital safety is very important. Digital safety, this describes methods and techniques that shield people, information and gadgets from online digital dangers such as identity theft, that is a big problem. There are movies which say that, which show that people have been erased because their digital identity has been erased, and since that identity was erased, that person lost access to his home, to his accounts, and people were not ready to believe that there are movies which show that, and it is so scary when you see that. So, and today also we have people, the government has access to all of us through identified unique numbers, and if those numbers are somehow managed by others, then what will happen? That is a very scary scenario. Therefore, you must be very careful that your personal information should be very carefully put on only the officially identified sites which are there. There are thefts, there is hacking, there is cyber attacks which is there, which violate individuals' privacy. So that is very important. So which we have to keep in mind. What digital safety we should see? We should protect our personal information. Therefore, whatever we put on digital platform should be very carefully analyzed and thought over, and what to give and what not to give. Then, while browsing, we must practice safe browsing. Safe browsing means visiting only the trusted and verified sites. You should not just click on every site which is there. Visiting unsafe sites may lead to data theft and misuse of personal data. Online alertness should be there. Being alert can help us to identify possible threats which can be there, and we can take preventive actions on time, and this will make us stay safe and secure. Strong passwords, again, it is said again and again, don't use your personal details which are available as passwords. Again, something should be there in the passwords that nobody can easily identify it. We should, whatever we are posting, we should have carefully post on the data. Every data should be there with you as a backup. As we said, we should have a reservoir at home. Similarly, we should have a reservoir of digital information is there, because the devices may just go corrupt, devices may just stop working. There can be a total shutdown. There was a total shutdown some time ago, and of the whole network which was there, and people were lost because the data was lost. So that data backup should be there. It can be in terms of drives, it can be in clouds, it can be, again, you can have those old devices like pen drives, etc. Those also, hard disks can also be used. And we must, last but not the least, keep updating the antivirus, which is very important. Many times it is as important as taking vaccines at times. So we must keep updating the Besides this, while you are on digital platform, you must have certain ethical concerns which are there. We must have informed contents whenever we are using anybody's data, or we are putting somebody's information on this. We should see that we have taken the consent from the person. It should be, the content which is there should be verified properly. So that is very important. We should see that unauthentic information can lead to trustworthiness of an individual. So it is very important that while we are creating an information or putting an information, our credibility is not lost. No plagiarism policy, that is, copied information can be identified very easily. So there should, while you are copying, either you must say from where you have copied, or you must see that copied information, the resource should be mentioned, and due credit should be given from wherever you are taking the information. Therefore, we can say digital literacy shapes an individual to be digitally competent and sound. The key components of digital literacy, like access, creation, communication, and safety measures, must be followed by the individuals in time to come, or by the learners in time to come, because that will contribute to an effective working society. So in this lecture, we have discussed certain key points of putting digital information on public platforms, how to create, how to communicate, and how to keep us safe ourselves safe in this digitally active world. Thank you.